this is Mike with HeadRush, and I'm here at Guitar Center with the HeadRush Pedalboard, the world's first standalone amp sim with quad-core processing and a touchscreen interface. HeadRush Pedalboard provides the most realistic amp, cab, and effects simulation than any other unit of its kind. Because of its DSP processing, you can add more and more sounds without hitting that DSP ceiling, and because of the touchscreen interface, you can access those sounds quicker and easier than ever before. HeadRush Pedalboard is powered by 11 HD Expanded, a reconstructed architecture of the original legacy 11 software. We've reconstructed this to fit our DSP platform so the players in mind have more options at their fingertips and can get more out of their sound. With the HeadRush Pedalboard, we wanted to focus on three major things. We wanted to focus on tone, so it had to sound really good. We wanted to focus on versatility, so it had to have a whole lot of options. But primarily, we wanted to focus on ease of use. And with the touchscreen interface, you have access to all the power at your fingertips. At the heart of the HeadRush Pedalboard, we have a 7-inch full-color touchscreen interface, which gives you the ability to drag and drop all your blocks into place, add new blocks, and create sounds quicker and easier than ever before. To the side of this, we also have tactile knobs, which gives you control over the master volume, also headphone volume, auxiliary in volume, and you even have a jog wheel if you want to avoid using the touchscreen altogether. To the right of the touchscreen, we have tactile knobs which control all the parameter values for each block selected. Underneath the touchscreen, we have our stomp pedals, which are outlined with a high-res OLED display. Crystal clear feedback, one-to-one interaction, and all these are color codable. The HeadRush Pedalboard also has a fully integrated expression pedal with 2 modes. It's fully assignable with up to 4 different parameter values per mode, which will allow you to quickly and easily morph between all your different effects, amps, and cabs on board. So on the HeadRush Pedalboard for the I/O, we feel like we have all the bases covered, really. We have our instrument in. Another really cool feature is the expression pedal port. If you have your own expression pedal that you like to use, you can patch this right in and it will automatically take over one of the modes on the expression pedal, so that's really cool. We also have an aux-in, which is an 1/8-inch aux-in. We like that because that way you can send sound directly from your phone, your tablet. It makes it very easy to use. We also have a balanced XLR output section, which just delivers superior sound, so you can run your sound either to a powered speaker setup or directly to front of house for a real-life performance application that really comes in handy. To the next to that, we have a ground lift switch, which we feel is a really valuable feature because it just eliminates hum if you're taking this into an environment that you don't know about. Directly next to that, we have our TRS 1/4-inch outs, and followed by our effects loop. The cool thing about our effects loop is we actually have a stomp or rack switch, so it will set up the effects loop accordingly. All right, next up we have our MIDI in, out, and through. This is really cool in case you want to slave or master a separate HeadRush unit or any other MIDI gear that you have laying around. You can also set up your pre-programmed switch-up changes with a DAW of your choice. So in other words, you can go completely hands-free and just set this up to your live performance that way too, which is really cool and really popular. We also have a USB port. This is really good for updating your firmware, but HeadRush also works as a 4-in, 4-out audio interface with the ability to reamp, so that's super cool as well. Of course, we have our power switch right here. The great thing about this is if you accidentally bump it or if somebody bumps into it, then you get an alert on the screen that says, hey, are you sure you want to power off right now? So that's really cool. Okay, I want to show you how quickly and easily you can set up a new rig with HeadRush Pedalboard. You can access new rig in the menu section. You're going to see 11 empty blocks. These blocks can be filled with any amp, cab, or effects of your choosing. All you have to do is simply touch. And now we have the drop-down menu. I'm going to go ahead and select amp. And it's going to give me 33 different amp models to choose from. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a nice plexi. And as you can see, it automatically pairs it with a complementary cabinet. But I want to change that out, so all I need to do is double tap. And now I have 15 different cabs to choose from. So I want to go ahead and combine this with something with some 25-watt greenbacks because I think that sounds really good. And now I can choose from one of 10 different microphone configurations. I'm going to go with the SM57, and I'm going to set it on axis. You can also adjust the speaker breakup from here. All right, let's listen to what we have so far. That's pretty good. I want to go ahead and dial this in just a little bit more. So as you can see, you can simply drag and drop these different blocks wherever you want in the signal path on HeadRush Pedalboard. I want to heat things up just a tiny bit with some overdrive. So I'm going to scroll down to our distortions, pick a tube screamer, and make some adjustments. I'm going to decrease the drive, adjust the tone, and drop the level down. As you can see, when I touch one of the blocks, it simply throws the parameter values over to the right-hand side that gives you total access with the 3 tactile knobs off to the side. I can double tap each block, and from here I have more control over things like color coding, saving or accessing presets, and making even more adjustments to the parameter values. I can exit out. Let's listen to what we got. I'm going to tighten things up just a little bit more with some compression. And here's our finished product. So let's weten things up just a tiny bit with a little bit of reverb. I'm going to add that at the end of my signal path. Make a selection here. I'm going to grab something kind of small and make some adjustments. Let's listen to what we have. Here's a cleaner tone inside the HeadRush Pedalboard. Nice chimey overtones, sounds really rich and thick. Here's an example that utilizes one of our more sophisticated routing paths. It starts off as a serial path, and then it splits into a parallel path, allowing you to send true stereo. It then consolidates into a serial path, and the benefit of doing it this way means that you can set up your different effects that you want to use on both of those paths without consuming multiple blocks, meaning that you can allocate those for something that's a little bit cooler than setting up 2 compressors or 2 EQs. They can both share that same one. Here's an example of how this one sounds. On this preset, this is something that's a little bit more modern rock, and it sounds a little bit like this. The HeadRush Pedalboard can tackle modern metal with the best of them. This is one of my favorite sounds inside. Here's how it sounds. So here's another cool patch that I like really well using that same setup with that really cool routing path here. Notice that you want to listen for the ping pong delay in your stereo setup. One of the limitations that boards like this have always had are these hard stops, especially going between two totally different types of sounds. For instance, if you have a sound that has an incredible amount of time-based effects like reverb and delay, and then you're going into more of like an aggressive sound for like rhythm guitar. What you would always come up against are these hard stops when you make that switch, and then those delay tails and those reverb tails, they just drop right off. An example of that would be something like this. See, I switch and it just disappears. I'm into my heavy sound there. So one of the benefits of the HeadRush Pedalboard is, because of the quad-core processing, you don't have those hard stops. And you have seamless patch switching with seamless spillover between those time-based effects. Let me give you an example of that. Just simply turn on the tails for each of our sounds. And now we have a seamless patch switch with the spillover of that reverb and delay. So let's give a listen to how this sounds. You can hear the delay carrying over. Let's switch it. You can hear it's continuing to go on and decay at a natural level. So let's hear this in more of a real playing application. So a really cool and powerful feature on the HeadRush Pedalboard is the ability to hardware assign. Now you can hardware assign on any other unit out there, but not like this. This is the first of its kind to actually drag and drop these into place. Let me show you how to do it. All you have to do is access the hardware assign in the menu, and then just simply drag and drop and place those anywhere you want on the pedalboard. This is the only unit on the market that allows you to do that. Super powerful and super easy. All right, so now we're all set up for the gig. Now, you're not gonna wanna lean over and touch the touchscreen to make all your adjustments in a live performance application. So we have this really cool mode called hands-free mode. And what it allows you to do is just simply come down with your foot on one of the blocks, and then you can see all the parameter values for each block are blown up really big, and you can see all the values on the screen. You can make a selection of those, and then make adjustments in real time with the expression pedal. It's that fast and that easy, and no other unit does it like this. So another cool feature about the HeadRush Pedalboard is our fully integrated looper. Now this is what we call a universal effect, meaning that you can access it at any given time without consuming a block in your signal path to do so. You just touch the looper button, and then it opens up a whole array of loop effects. So you can record, overdub, start and stop. You can insert a phrase in the middle of your loop. The pill feature allows you to pill back in case you don't like what you did last. You can mute the loop, meaning that it keeps playing in real time in the background without stopping it. But you can also cut down the speed in half, multiply the speed. You can divide and multiply the loop length itself. And you can reverse the loop at the end of everything you're doing, which is really cool. Something very cool to mention and speak about, our looper records up to 20 minutes of audio. To put that in perspective, there's nothing else on the market that does anything like that other than one standalone piece of gear that records up to 5 minutes of audio. Its sole purpose in life is to loop, and we do 4 times the amount, and it's just one of our features. Guys, thanks so much for watching. This has been the HeadRush Pedalboard. We've just scratched the surface here. Go check one out for yourself at select Guitar Center stores or guitarcenter.com.